Everyone, in last session we have seen about exploratory testing. Today we will see two similar type of testing like ad hoc testing and monkey testing. Though they are very similar with exploratory testing, but there are some differences between these three type of testing, that is ad hoc testing, monkey testing and exploratory testing. So we will see what are the exact differences at the end of this session. But before that, let's understand what is ad hoc testing and monkey testing. As the name suggests, ad hoc. What is the meaning of ad hoc? Ad hoc means random. So, testing the application randomly without any test cases or any business requirements is considered as ad hoc testing. Ad hoc testing is a type of black box or behavioral testing where you don't need to follow any strict process. So in ad hoc testing, there are no requirements, there are no test cases, there is no testing approach. We have to randomly perform the testing on the given application. There is no formal process of testing documents. So there are no formal test documents, or we don't have to create any type of records or any documentation for ad hoc testing. So ad hoc testing is done by keeping one objective in the mind, that is to break the application features and finding issues in the application. So whenever someone from your team, whenever it is asked to QA team to do the ad hoc testing on some module, we have to do random testing on that module and we have to try to find out as many issues during the ad hoc testing. We should execute or we should ad hocly test that feature in such a way that we should be able to find some issues in that application. So as a tester, it is our main focus to break the application. We have to perform random test cases on that specific module during ad hoc testing. It is not a structured, it is not in a proper process format. We have to just do some random testing on that application during ad hoc testing. Ad hoc testing does not follow time boxed sessions. So someone might ask QA team to do the ad hoc testing for 1 hour, or sometimes it can be asked to do ad hoc testing for 30 minutes. So it is not a time box session. It can be done at any time during the development cycle. So not necessarily it will be performed during some stage of that application. It can be performed at any stage of the development of that specific application. So whenever there is limited time, or let's say we don't have time to perform the formal testing is not possible, in such situations we have to do ad hoc testing. As I said, there are no documentation for ad hoc testing, no test design is available, no test cases are available. So the effectiveness of ad hoc testing totally relies on testers' experience and knowledge of that application. So if you see, there is one difference we can find out during exploratory testing. Testers might not have that much knowledge about that new feature, so he just explore that application with the purpose of learning that features. While in ad hoc testing, testers will have some basic knowledge of the application and he will try to find issues while doing ad hoc testing in that application. So that is the one difference between exploratory testing and ad hoc testing. So it depends how the tester is going to proceed with ad hoc testing with his knowledge about that application and features. Ad hoc testing is most effective when performed by testers who clearly understand the software and expected functional behavior. So if there is a tester who totally understands the application and he also understand different features available in that application with the expected outcomes, and if he is asked to do ad hoc testing, he can perform it in better way because he is comfortable with the behavior of that application. So in that situation, he can perform some ad hoc testing on that application and try to find out some issues during the test execution. And what are the benefits of ad hoc testing? Flexibility. So if there is an experienced tester and we have to do some ad hoc testing on some feature which is changed, or let's say some minor changes have happened in that feature, then we can ask that tester to do ad hoc testing. So it gives you the flexibility. We can perform the ad hoc testing during any phase of the development life cycle of that specific software. It totally depends on the creativity of the tester, how quickly he can do ad hoc testing, what are the different ways he can think during the ad hoc testing to break the application. So that depends on tester's knowledge about that feature and tester's creativity in that manner. Ad hoc testing can give you early defect detections. So if there are any issues in the application, those can be quickly found out by doing ad hoc testing. Because ad hoc testing will not take much amount of time, because there is no formal test cases execution during the ad hoc testing. It is just like in a random manner. So ad hoc testing is done in very random manner. So that is basically about ad hoc testing. So ad hoc testing is done without any test cases, without any business requirements. It totally depends on tester's knowledge about that application. Ad hoc testing is done by keeping one objective in mind to break the application and try to find out as many issues possible. Ad hoc testing does not follow any time box sessions. So it can be done at any time during the development cycle, and the effectiveness of ad hoc testing relies on testers' experience and knowledge of that application. So if the tester is well comfortable and if the tester knows what are the different issues that can come that in that specific areas of that application, then he can perform the ad hoc testing effectively. That's why while doing ad hoc testing, that specific tester should know the application features and the expected functional behavior. We have also seen the benefits of ad hoc testing. And now one more type of testing is monkey testing. Now it will again feel similar to the ad hoc testing, but there are some differences between ad hoc testing and monkey testing. In ad hoc testing, we have seen that testers will have some knowledge of the features of the application which he is going to do ad hoc testing. But in monkey testing, testers do not have any knowledge about that application. So the testing the application without any knowing any functionality is called as a monkey testing. So let's take a simple example of the gaming application. So we have the game application, and if you give that gaming application to children, what they will do? They will randomly click on some buttons. They will randomly start the application. They will randomly click on some game element. They will randomly select any option from that application. They will not follow any traditional behavior. They will not follow any sequential behavior on that application. So such type of testing is called as a monkey testing. So the person who is going to perform the monkey testing will not have any knowledge around that specific application. He will just randomly perform some actions, which can be a totally unpredictable actions. So giving unexpected random inputs and performing non-sequential actions on application to check whether performing such random actions can crash the application or not. And that is most of the times, especially in gaming applications where user actions can have multiple possibilities. So whenever any end user is playing any game on the mobile, he can do any type of action on that specific application. So we have to check during the monkey testing that performing such random actions will cause any problems in that application, because while playing the game there can be multiple possibilities. So we cannot have defined scope for the monkey testing. So monkey testing is basically doing random stuff on that application, pressing any random keys, pressing any web element, etc. So we have to verify by giving some random inputs, performing some non-sequential actions on the application. So that is called as a monkey testing. And main difference between ad hoc testing and monkey testing is, in the monkey testing, testers will not have any knowledge of that application. While in ad hoc testing, testers will have knowledge about that specific application. And now coming to all the differences between exploratory testing, ad hoc testing, and monkey testing. So all these three type of testing are basically without any requirements and without any test cases. Though there are some similarities in between these three type of testing, there are some differences as well. So what are the exact differences between exploratory testing, ad hoc testing, and monkey testing? So first is definition. So what is exploratory testing? Testing without predefined cases but with some systematic approach. So we have seen why do we do exploratory testing is we don't have any requirements. In such situation, we have to start with exploring the application, we have to learn the application, and during the testing only, we can document the findings. So there is some systematic approach. So while during executing or while exploring that application, we have to do some documentation. So we can design the documentation, we can note down the learnings and perform the execution simultaneously. That is basically exploratory testing. What is ad hoc testing? Ad hoc testing is totally random testing. It is informal and unstructured testing based on testers' knowledge and experience without any predefined cases or documentation. That is called as ad hoc testing. We don't have any requirement, we don't have any test cases, or even we don't prepare any findings. So it is directly done by performing direct test execution randomly on that application. So it totally depends on testers' knowledge about that application and the areas which testers can intuit, when where the testers can find out more issues by his previous experience, so that he can do ad hoc testing on that area of that application. And monkey testing is again random testing with no specific approach. So main difference between ad hoc testing and monkey testing is, in ad hoc testing, testers will have the knowledge of that application. Whereas in monkey testing, testers will be like totally monkey to that application. They don't have any knowledge of that application. So they will randomly perform any actions on that application to find out whether that application is getting crashed or not. And monkey testing can be automated as well by simulating some random user behavior. Planning related observations. So for exploratory testing, some planning involved with charters or missions guiding the testing session. So while starting the exploratory testing, as the tester is learning the features, he can follow certain approach or he can plan certain activities for exploratory testing. But in ad hoc testing, there is no formal planning. Testing is done very random manner. And in monkey testing, again, no planning, and it is also totally random actions on the application. Documentation. In exploratory testing, some level of documentation. So while exploring the application, we note down the findings, we document those observations, and we can share those observations later on with the team. But in ad hoc testing, there can be no documentation at all. So users or testers will directly do the ad hoc testing, and if there are issues, they will directly report to the developer and get it fixed. And monkey testing also do not involve any type of documentation. There are no test cases, no requirement, no guidelines. It is just a random testing in the form of monkey testing. Approach of the exploratory testing is bit systematic and leveraging the tester's skills and insights. So for the exploratory testing, if tester is having some previous knowledge or previous domain knowledge of that application, he can explore and learn the application in better manner. Whereas in ad hoc testing is totally random and informal. based on testers some intuition and some knowledge of that application. Monkey testing is completely random. Focus. So what is the main focus of doing exploratory testing? So in exploratory testing, tester will focus on learning the application, learning the behavior of the application, and noting down those observations. And if there are any observations which he finds that are not correct, that can be reported to the developer. Ad hoc testing is basically quickly finding the defects without any systematic approach. So within limited time, if we want to find out the defects without following the traditional method of testing, then we can follow the ad hoc testing way. Whereas monkey testing is again totally random testing, and it is done by generating random inputs and random actions on the application. And it is mainly for gaming applications. Exploratory testing is often conducted in time box sessions. So we can ask the testers to time box the exploration of activity because there is no scope defined, there are no requirement documents. So as a tester, we cannot perform the exploratory testing for infinite amount of time, right? So we have to time box that activity. So within that time boxed activity or time box session, we can document all the observations and we can share that with the team. Ad hoc testing is again no session based. So there is no specific stage for doing the ad hoc testing. It can be done at any time. Monkey testing is also not session based. It can run simultaneously at any random intervals. In exploratory testing, test design is done on the fly based on observations. So while doing the exploratory testing, while exploring the features, testers can note down those observations. In ad hoc testing, no specific test design is involved. So testers will randomly test the application with his previous knowledge about that application, and then if there are any issues, he will report it to the developers. And in monkey testing also, there is no test design, no requirements, nothing. There would be a random actions, random and unexpected behavior. So testers will perform some unintended inputs on the application, totally without any test designs and test documents. So actions will be entirely random. Exploratory testing relies on tester's domain knowledge, his past experience, and his intuition, whereas ad hoc testing relies on tester's experience and intuitions, whereas monkey testing does not require any previous knowledge. So the person who is performing the monkey testing is not needed to have any type of knowledge of that specific application. It can be done by any type of end users to perform the monkey testing. And what is the purpose of exploratory testing? To explore the application, learn about it, and find the defect systematically. Whereas ad hoc testing purpose is to quickly identify the defects without following a formal process. And monkey testing is basically to identify how the application handles unexpected and random actions by end users. It is often used for stress testing. So let's take there is a gaming application which is going to be released on production, but before releasing on production, we can perform monkey testing. We can ask all the employees of the company to perform the monkey testing on that specific game. So we can ask all the employees of that company to play that game and give the observations. So that is kind of a monkey testing because other employees might not have idea about that specific game. So they will perform some random actions, unexpected actions on that game. So that is called as a monkey testing. And examples of usage. So when do we do the exploratory testing? As we have seen one example where we have to integrate the third party payment gateway with our existing application. So in that situation, application was ready to test, but we had no formal requirements. We have to explore the application. So in such situation where there are no requirements and testers need to explore the new features or areas of the application deeply, in such situation we do exploratory testing. And when do we do the ad hoc testing? Ad hoc testing is done when the time is limited or when no formal tests are available. So whenever let's say there are no test cases are available or the time is limited, so we have to rely on ad hoc testing. And monkey testing is used to test the robustness of the application by the random usage and unexpected inputs by end users. So in such situation, we have to do monkey testing. So these are some high level differences between exploratory testing, ad hoc testing and monkey testing. So I hope you all are understood the differences between exploratory testing, ad hoc testing and monkey testing. So in interviews, interviewer might ask you the questions about what is exploratory testing, what is ad hoc testing and what is monkey testing. So we should know the similarities as well as the differences between exploratory testing, ad hoc testing and monkey testing. So thank you for watching this video. In the coming session, we will see some more type of testing.